Hey guys, welcome in. Wow, the moment I want to say hello, all of a sudden I feel like I have a frog in my throat. I'm going to go ahead and start cleansing the space. I am so looking forward to today's energy clearing session. If you have been called to this particular healing, there's something deep down inside of you that is looking to resurrect your true identity and resurrect your true self. So I want to go ahead, cleanse the space and get it ready for you so it can hold every ounce of you. I'm going to keep the candle alight for you guys there. I want to say thank you so much for being here. We're getting ready for another energy clearing session. And if you were here last week, welcome back. And if this is the first time that you have ever been to one of these sessions, don't worry. This is the second time I've had an opportunity to provide some space. And all you need to do, regardless if you're here for a second time or if this is your first time, I don't ask much of you. Seems like a lot these days. People are asking a lot of us, even our higher self, our expanded self, our divine self seems to be asking a lot of us. And we're going to be going for a little extra longer today because the new moon in Pisces will be arcing over us during this meditation. And I want to have this portal wide open. It doesn't matter if you watch this the next day or even a year from now. I firmly believe that when we open up channels of communication to the divine, it gives us an opportunity to go back and revisit things. So this portal is open no matter when you jump in on this. So I want to make sure that you feel secure, that you haven't missed out. There's a lot of pressure going on that's making you think you're losing out on time. And I'm telling you, that is not true whatsoever. You have all the time that you need to follow your divine guidance. Welcome, Jamie. So to get yourself settled in and grounded, please make sure that you have some of the basic needs. I highly recommend having a cup of tea, maybe get yourself some water, have a notebook nearby. I know a lot of you guys really get amped up with a lot of the downloads. So let yourself be guided naturally. If you feel inspired to write or to journal, you're welcome to do so. If you need to just sit still and do nothing, then please honor where it is that you are at. You have permission to rest, even through this whole channeling. The purpose of this energy is to give you a chance just to be in pure reception where nobody's asking anything of you. And I set it up that way so that if you do feel the need to do something, this energy, this protection is so clear that you'll feel confident knowing that this is coming from your heart. This is coming from your God self. This is coming from the divine. So if you are listening to this and you're exhausted, then I encourage you, please light back. If you're feeling a little slumped, you're welcome to be slumped. I just ask one thing of you: try not to fall asleep, at least the first time listening to this channeling. But oh my God, this is going to be so jam-packed. I'm all over the place only because we've got a new moon and we also have the spring and autumnal equinox. The new moon is going to be in Pisces. So chances are a lot of you guys are dealing with activations in your dream space. I know that a few folks have reported some really weird, spooky, odd dreams, or a lot of folks have been saying that they've been getting a lot of these downloads, and that's very thematic of Piscean energy. And shout out, because I know who's listening. Like, if you have Piscean placements, you're just going to be extra sensitive to this energy. So I'm adding an extra 30 minutes tonight. So when the new moon is at its, I don't think the word is peak, but I'm calling it that. When the new moon is in full, full darkness. It's super funny. It's going to be at 6:23 Pacific Standard Time. So I got a bit of a timer going on. So if all things work out for all the good in all of the universe, this is going to time out so beautifully and provide you the space that you need to feel so comfortable asking for what you want and not feeling guilty asking for what you want. You are worthy of all things beautiful. If you are a kind-hearted person who's just trying to do the right thing, can you just trust that asking for what you want is absolutely sanctified? It is a blessing. So we're going to be spending this time in a deeply relaxing state, utilizing Reiki energy, which is also known as universal life force energy. And because this is an extended session, I am going to be sharing a brand new technique with you guys. It's going to help you integrate your dreams directly into your physical body and your nervous system. Because if you're dealing with anxiety, frustration, anger, some overwhelming emotions, it means that you are not necessarily regulated. And I want to make sure that as we go through this meditation, you're relaxed enough to receive the downloads, but we do a little extra work on your physical body so that your nervous system doesn't accidentally reject good things. Because when you're dysregulated, it's really easy to accidentally reject good things. Okay, so this new moon is going to apparently be a banger for me. So this is much needed. I am so glad you are here, Nico. Like, you guys have totally been on my mind this whole week. I've been super excited putting this together for you. Oh my God. So if you're new to Reiki, this is going to be a wonderful session for you. And if you feel like you really suck at meditation, the session's also perfect for you. Like, I know a few of you guys have a pretty good relationship with meditation. And the whole purpose of this is just to keep adding more tools to your meditation toolkit so you can feel more empowered. And like, honestly, it's fun. It's fun trying to find different ways of doing something and making sure that when you're connecting with the divine, you're doing it with your unique style and your unique frequency. So what happens during meditation, like, you could have a spiritual experience. You may have a contact with your guides. You could see colors or shapes. You might even hear words or have an emotional release. But on the other hand, you might not experience anything. And that's totally fine. Don't worry if you don't have the all grandiose mystical contact from all of the universe. Being receptive to that takes time and it takes practice, but just use this period of time as pure cellular level self-care for your body. Okay. The main rule is just be curious. Like, if you recall from last week, those of you who were able to attend, and I do have the replay in the playlist, we were talking a lot about being curious. We're talking a lot about using our childlike imagination, trying to look at the blockages as art supplies, as tools, rather than trying to look at them as obstacles. With the exception, if you're trying to come up with an obstacle course, then you're in your own lane. I love it. But this is supposed to be a playful, spiritual environment. So there's no wrong or right way for you to go about your meditation practice. So stick around. Try not to leave early. I want to make sure that you feel fully integrated from beginning to end. And I will also be dropping a link for the next live session so that you can poll and have a vote on the next topic. And if you really enjoy this, I really ask that you please share this with somebody who you think that could really use some support. I want to make sure that the work that I do is open and available to everybody, regardless of where they are at in their life, be that, financial circumstances or mental health circumstances. So please try to share this with other people who are just they're kind of ready to start exploring their spirituality. This is a really great, in-depth beginner for people that you know in your life who are ready to start taking new steps. But oh, you just put your moon water out. It sounds like I guess Ollie is your puppy? Fell asleep on your phone and one of the Reiki shorts was on repeat today. Oh, I think you really need that. And I hope that's your puppy, because I did pull this card a little bit earlier. Says dog spirit, be loyal to what you love. And I thought that was perfect, because I wanted to see what kind of energy you guys are in. And it's a real ask for you to be so loyal to yourself. Just by making the effort to show up here weekly, you are actively teaching the universe that you desire more out of life without having to carry the old karmic burdens. Ginger, your tabby kitten. Cats are all about independence, so it still works. Well, guys, for those of you who haven't met me yet, my name is Berries, and I own Bloom Intuit, which is my healing and practitioner sanctuary. I have been a Reiki master for about 10 years now, and I'm actually currently studying metaphysical sciences to become an ordained minister of metaphysics so that I can become an official priestess. And what's really cool is that the more I step into my alignment, the more complete I feel. And my ultimate goal is to help you guys step into your true sovereign self. I have been doing this program. It's I think a few of you guys were asking what program it is. It's from the University of Metaphysics, also known as the University of Sedona. So if you're drawn towards that or you are curious, go check them out. They got some amazing free content there, and it has been reality shifting, being able to work with an organization to help me with my foundation so that I can feel more comfortable with my knowledge and more comfortable teaching you what it is that I've learned and known over the years. So today's theme is going to still be about feeling protected and trusting divine timing. This was a similar theme from last week, and even with more people who came in to vote to select what it is we want to talk about, the theme came up again, and that's perfect. It means that you guys are willing to stand still, and rather than just flip over to the next problem, you guys are willing to sit with it. And I want to say that is amazing, and it's actually a real true test of your spiritual and emotional maturity, your willingness to kind of still focus on the one theme. You're not stuck. This is about curiosity and knowing from a heart level you are doing the right thing, because you're willing to look at things. You're willing to look at the shadow side of what's going on. So I'm in it with you guys. I have been feeling this collective energy very deeply, and I have been pushing hard to get my business established, especially since I have no, corporate job to support me. And I've had a lot of things just fall apart in my day-to-day life. And I will say, if you guys are going through a massive shift where things are falling apart, just trust that it's all working together for your good. Things do balance out. However, we can't welcome in the new until the old is removed. Yeah, I have been practicing this particular form of meditation for a few weeks now. This is really my core inspiration that led me to realize that you guys need meditation support just as much as I do. I've been practicing very consistently for the last few weeks, and I have been feeling a noticeable change in my brain, as though I've been exercising my brain, even though I've been fully relaxed. I've been creating muscle memory, trying to learn how to communicate with my left hemisphere, communicate with the right hemisphere, being able to connect to that third eye so that I can have a way more balanced approach when I'm communing with myself, having that personal time with the almighty me, myself, and I. And it's given my body a chance to clear out a lot of emotional junk and open up my mental space. And everything is becoming so much clearer. Like, regardless if you have been practicing meditation or not, I'm willing to bet that there have been some things going on in the astrology, in your personal life, where things are becoming a little bit more clear. And even if it is, I don't want that anymore, that's still clarity. The beautiful downside to doing meditation consistently, you're going to have to say some hard goodbyes. And the only reason I keep bringing this up is because my Mini Cooper that I've had for like 15 years, it was a 20-year-old vehicle. It finally died this week. And I was faced with one of those moments where it was like, well, I could keep repairing it, or I can trust the universe and get something newer and better and even safer to drive. If you have to release something, release it with gratitude and trust that the new is coming in. Because whenever we limit ourselves when it comes to money, when it comes to time, when it comes to our resources, our limitations are just illusions that our mind creates. And the mental illness that a lot of you guys have struggled with is believing the illusion, falling for the illusion, thinking that the illusion was your reality. So the core message today, if there's nothing else that you remember from today's channeling, let it crumble. Trust that the incoming energy is so much better. You aren't losing. You're just making room for the next, the better, and the best. So I just want to take a collective deep breath here. Which is a beautiful surge of energy. But I want to make sure it doesn't overwhelm your body. The purpose of meditation is to become so relaxed that you can allow more energy to flow through you. So let's do another deep breath here. Relax your shoulders. Give yourself a little bit of movement, because guys, we're officially closing out a massive 3-year karmic loop. This is our spring equinox. This is the autumnal equinox. And this is the Pisces new moon reset. Like, I really feel like right now, like, it's one of those buttons that, for those of you who know the company Staples, was like, it's like, well, that was easy. You're going to be able to look back on this and wonder first, how the hell did I get away with all of this? But you're also going to be able to feel so much better about making, I don't want to say difficult decisions, but more ballsy decisions moving forward. As I've been tapping into the energy of this space, there is still the heavy split. I was talking about this a little bit earlier. Half of you are feeling exhausted from trying to force things forward, and the other half of you are struggling with feeling paralyzed. This desperate desire to feel absolute safety before making the move. And unfortunately, these mindsets that I have to make it go forward, or I have to wait for things to feel safe, this paradigm is dying. We're officially dropping the need to push, dominate, or manhandle our reality. And that is what we are encouraged to do. When we were in survival mode, it tricked us into thinking that we have to fight for everything. Like, Hunger Games, Fallout, like there's all kinds of stories available to us about the end of the world and having to survive and feeling like there's nothing left available to us. That is a game within the matrix. To indulge in that energy tells the universe you want to live in an apocalyptic nightmare. But when we're taking a step back and we disassociate ourselves from the chaos, it turns into entertainment. We can recognize we're just listening to a story. Yeah, the story does resonate. Yeah, the story feels real to life. But storytelling is a tool, a spiritual tool, to help us understand aspects of ourselves that our ego has had a very difficult time digesting. The ego is slow and dense, and we can still love it for what it is. So tonight, I'm inviting you. Surrender to the flow of life. And if something in your life crumbles right now, like my Mini Cooper, just let it die. Let it go. And like a funny note, the universe is very literal. This is just a lovely example of how the universe is so fucking literal. Like, ironically, my car, the way it died, it did something called a time shift, where everything within my engine went suddenly out of sync. And when we lose objects or people of value, that is just an indication that they're no longer in alignment to our timeline. So you may notice how things may time shift just out of your life. Something was there, it was comfy, and then the cord cut happens and you realize you're on the higher timeline and you have a completely different attitude about what's going on based on a past version of yourself. You're going to start seeing the past version of yourself. You're going to be meeting people who reminds you of a past version of yourself. You're not hooped, Nico. You're with berries now. You're going to be fine. Like, let it fall away. If you've asked for the good, like, you need to clear out the old tower in order to bring the new one. Like, I really want to encourage you, Nico, really lean into that tower energy. You're asking for it. And I only tease you about that because of your handle. And you know it. You know it. You're such a shadow worker. You just have had a very deep, dark, awful cave that you have had to dig yourself through. So I do want to recognize that for you specifically. So I want to give you guys a second to set an intention. Ask yourself this simple question. You can write this down or just place your hand on your heart. Connect to the higher self, the God mind, the higher mind, and just ask this part of you. How do you want to feel once this session has concluded? Like, how do you want to feel in an hour and a half? Because when we don't walk into anything with an intention, we're prone to drifting. And a lot of you guys have been drifting for a very long time, me included. But there's an ask for you to start dropping anchor because you finally found your own promised land, if you will. How do you want to feel when this session is over? And don't even bother with words. Just tuning into this idea of, I want to feel good, feel better. I want this headache to go away. I want this tension to be gone. And if there are any fears, skepticism, I was mentioning some physical tension, just notice it. And if you're feeling a little extra brave, feel it. In order to heal it, you've got to feel it. Because a lot of these sessions are about how do you restore your relationship to your emotions? Because you deserve to feel safe within your body. So for those of you who've been feeling nervous and paralyzed, honestly, ask yourself, how would it actually feel to be 100% safe inside your own body? If you had absolute, unshakable safety, would you finally feel brave enough to seek out the things that you desire? Would you be willing to allow things to fall away? We're not asking you to give up good things. You're being asked to give up toxic things, toxic food, people, and even if you've done all the work in the physical, what thoughts are you entertaining? What thoughts are you looping? Because there does come a point, even in the mental space, if we keep visiting the same idea, we get frustrated because we get stuck on the outside. And for the other group of you, those of you who are feeling exhausted, trying to force things forward, how would you feel if you just received everything effortlessly? I want you to ask yourself a very hard question. Would you still feel worthy of your dreams if you stopped investing all of your stress and panic and struggle into your efforts? A lot of people believe that they need to struggle to find their worthiness. And if that's what you want to believe, well, then you're going to struggle in order to earn your worthiness. Do you want to feel that way? And there's a little bit of confusion. There are some of you who's like, yeah, okay, I'll just do that. Sarcasm. The universe does hear sarcasm. But if you really don't want to feel that way anymore, could you still feel worthy of your dreams if you stopped investing all of your stress, panic, and struggle into them? Stress does not bring money. It brings temporary money, a temporary high, and it leaves just as fast as it shows up. Same thing goes for relationships and opportunities. So today, we have to take down 3 false pillars that you probably have been subconsciously holding on to. Because a lot of you guys have been doing the work in the physical, and I want you to keep moving forward as your energy allows you to. Really follow your energy. It's going to be like this until May, according to the other folks that I listen to and respect. Like you got weeks to work this out. So I want to make sure you don't feel pressured. I need you to go at the pace that you can go at right now. And if there's anything getting in your way, does it mean can you release it? Can you just let it go? Because if it's meant for you, it will come back. But the first false pillar we have to talk about is the strategy trap. And it's like the illusion of the shoulds. Like how did I hear my sister once phrase it? It's like, don't should on yourself. It's a false belief that says I have to play the game and hide my true self and do what I should to feel safe and succeed. But the reality of it is that you're exhausted because you're trying to outsmart the universe. You're hiding your quirks, you're hiding your dark side and your unique personality to fit an outdated and even a cruel system. So the Reiki shift that we are intending for today is that you don't need a strategy to be safe. You need authenticity. So the energy cleansing today, we're going to be removing that egoic mask. And some of you may feel very nervous about it. I want you to feel into that. It's okay to feel nervous because if you don't embrace change, nothing ever happens and you risk becoming stagnant. When you love the dark and messy aspects of your personality, manifesting becomes effortless. And your unique personality is the literal key to this new moon, and it is the key to manifesting in general. False pillar number 2. Perfection, the clarity trap. It's this demand for the perfect plan. It's this belief that says, I can't take a single step forward until I know exactly how this is all going to work out. So this is sort of analysis by paralysis. The reality is that you're actually frustrating yourself by demanding mental clarity in a season of water. Because again, this is a new moon Piscean energy, like very water, emotional. I always see Pisces energy as sort of, you got the iceberg on top and this mass ocean and the true nature of what's going on underneath the surface. The mental clarity is all up here, but really the energy right now is asking you to really go deep and recognize that you're putting massive pressure on yourself just to figure it out. So try not to use your mental energy to deal with a water problem, to deal with an emotional problem. So the Reiki shift tonight is we're going to clear out this mental gridlock because you cannot build your new dreams on an old foundation of logic. Like I have this image of you actually building a beautiful city on that iceberg and knowing that that is the safest and best place for you. Another person would have an opinion about building on that iceberg, but you know something. And other people just don't know you, and they're not supposed to. You're supposed to be the author of your own reality. And people like me just make really educated guesses based on our own personal experience to try and help you move through your own over logicked mind, if that makes any sense. When you take the right steps forward, it doesn't feel like hard work. These are supposed to be the most easiest and effortless steps you take. It's that footprints in the sand poem. While it's so fucking cliche, and when I was putting my notes together, the divine was showing me that poster, and I actually got a little bit angry at it. I'm like, ugh, God, that's so fucking cliche. It's like, God, where were you? You're supposed to help me. And God's like, look, I carried you through it all. Fuck. But the problem is, it's true. The universe will carry you through some of the most difficult circumstances. The universe is asking for your trust, not your itinerary. You might have made a plan, the 5-year plan, the 5-month plan, the 5-minute plan, and the universe will knock on your door and say, nope, I got other plans for you. Whether that is getting an injury, dealing with, a car, in my case, also dealing with plumbing issues or having to pivot in order to be responsive to your health. The universe is prioritizing things because you subconsciously asked for it. So try not to punish yourself and try not to outsmart the universe. Wow. So the third pillar, this is the tough one. And totally my car has a lot to do with this. It's clinging to the familiar. It's also like a community trap. It's this false belief that says, if I let go of these people, these habits, or this environment, I will be completely alone and supported. Alone and unsupported. Blah, blah, blah. But the reality is that you're holding on to dead weight because it feels familiar. Remember earlier, I was talking about how change is important. If you want to bring in the new, you need to accept change, and change is the opposite of familiar. Your familiar was toxic. Your familiar was dysfunctional. Your familiar was just normal. And I got such a big fucking headache thinking about what is familiar. You're trying to, and it's actually kind of cruel if you don't let people go, because you're trying to drag people and situations into the next timeline, and they don't want to go with you. They haven't asked to go with you, and they'd rather you stay small for the very reason that they're worried that if they change, they will be completely alone and unsupported. You've accidentally over-identified with the people that you trauma bonded with. And that's difficult when you start to heal. You have to let people go. And you have to trust that no matter what, they have their own journey. And that can be heartbreaking. There's a grief process involved with that. But the shift that we are inviting in tonight, we're severing the cords to what is crumbling. Like if you got a tower and the foundation is rot, it's full of termites, and you've had like a bunch of squirrels living there for the last 20 years, it's a lot of effort to clean it up and patch it up, when honestly you could have something that has newer tech. When I say newer tech, these are the new frameworks. This is the new foundation you're building, new ideas, and even just opening yourself up to the possibilities that opening up to possibilities that a previous version of you would have mocked or ridiculed. I noticed this about myself, especially quite recently, because a lot of the things that I'm inviting into my life, a past version of me would have been so fucking judgmental. So try not to be hard on yourself if you're having a difficult time letting go of people. They're keeping you small because they have their judgments. You've taken on their judgments as your own just because you wanted to feel safe. but the person you're going to be stepping into, there's going to be a version of you that's like, oh shit, I'm totally that person. Like, I'm borrowing my friend's truck right now while I wait to figure out my new vehicle. And going from a Mini Cooper to like, a mid-sized truck. And I remember parking, and I parked over the line. And that was always my pet peeve. It's like, I see a truck, it's not properly parked, and I'll sit there and be a judgmental Judy with my little shopping cart, going like, oh my God, those people don't know how to drive. Oh my God, they're so fucking lazy. Then, I go grocery shopping a couple of days ago, and I realized I was parked over the line and I didn't have the fucking energy to park it properly. And I'm like, damn, bitch. Sometimes we are our own worst enemy. So we're severing the cords to what is crumbling. You are being guided to, you're being guided towards thought-provoking and aligned communities. And these new people and the old people, it's sort of that awkward when you bring your boyfriend to meet your girlfriends, and the girlfriends are like, why are you with him? It's that kind of energy. It's kind of the funniest way I could explain it. But if there is a gap between the old crowd and the new crowd, especially for those of you who are feeling lonely, like you've been in limbo because you've gotten rid of the old, rest. There is no crime in resting. You do not need to surround yourself with the traumatic noise of the previous people you used to be involved with just to feel safe, just to feel familiar. So we're going to be opening up the void so that the right people show up in a way that reflects your real self, shadow and all. Like, you're going to be coming across people that'll make you go, whoa, I totally remember being that dysfunctional little bitch, and I love them for it. And you're going to have other people show up that they're going to just reflect and encourage the version of you that really needs that encouragement. Seeing the best versions of yourself in other people, knowing that they are their own person, but you can just appreciate and love that you see the best parts of yourself in them. Resting is exhausting. I agree. Especially when you are in a recovery phase, resting is exhausting because you have to make the declaration. And doing these meditations, Nico, is actually going to be very helpful, because what I'm doing is I'm doing a lot of the legwork energetically so that you're going to be a lot less prone to the lizard brain notions. So let's set an intention for the next 6 months. This is classic new moon energy, and I'm really excited. Like, Jamie, you were mentioning that you've got your moon water ready. Awesome. Where would you like to be in 6 months? Just selfishly, openly, indulgently. I'm even channeling a little bit of Reiki energy right here, so you can just feel safe in a beautiful little pink bubble to dream yourself into the beautiful reality. Because how would you feel walking through that life? What kind of people would it make you feel so good to be around? Who's standing next to you in your dream space? Who's not there? I encourage you to stop making the mistake of anticipating that these familiar people are going to follow you into the next timeline. You can lock them out. We can close the fence. We'll close the door. We'll put up the moat, and we'll put up little sharks, and the sharks with lasers. Like, you are so protected in this space. And even as you tune in to that perfect identity you're going to be stepping into in 6 months, can you trust it? I'm going to say yes. You can trust it because it's yours. Nobody else is giving you this idea. You are getting a direct download from the higher consciousness. And it's just a reminder of the person that you know you've always been, the original blueprint. Today's channeling is going to be a lot about opening up your original blueprints to your authentic nature so that we can just allow that person to become, so that you can become you and don't have to worry about masking. You don't have to worry about reshaping your energy. You don't have to worry about bad things happening because you're going to have the energy to tackle them in the moment. Can you trust the loving nature of your own intention? Rather than just waiting for another disaster to happen, can you just trust yourself? What's very important when you're confronting your emotions and having to face your own shadow, you have permission to feel uncomfortable. And I'll put this out there. If you feel uncomfortable doing something that somebody else told you to do, it is not for you. But if you feel uncomfortable and it's something you want, the deep core of your being, allow yourself to feel the discomfort of wanting something beautiful, valuable, fucking awesome. Because what's the worst case scenario? Like, this is a genuine exercise. This is something that you can practice. Allow your brain, like, we've been doing a lot of water energy, but we need to talk to your brain. What is the absolute worst that could happen? Oh, great. My car, my source of getting around in the San Francisco Bay Area of California is broken. How the hell am I supposed to get around now? What if I didn't have the friends? Would I still be driven enough to take the bus, take the train? Would I still feel solid enough to look up and get myself a vehicle that is within my own alignment? Like, what's the worst that could happen? And it's okay to look at the worst case scenario. It's just a possibility, but you can still refuse to accept it as your destiny. This is about getting your mind and your body anchored together so that when the download happens, you don't reject it, freaking out and feeling nervous or anxious, especially for those of you who've had your boundaries violated. You've accepted money from really shady circumstances. Some of you guys have been in some very shady dealings, and not because you're a bad person. Some of you, maybe it's a back alley, like, exchange of funds, like, nobody's perfect. But when you accept shady money, it gives you anxiety because your heart knows deep down inside it's not within your alignment, but you're shifting. Try not to think about the person who you used to be. Just be the person who it is that you are right now. True healing begins when we learn how to embrace the full spectrum of our emotions, the light and the dark and everything in between. So before we get into the meditation, I know I've been taking my time because I want to make sure that when we go into the Reiki meditation, we can take full advantage of the new moon. So I want to quickly take you guys through an exercise. And this is where the science meets the spiritual. So that when you go to make your intentions, you're not just allowing them to kind of float in the ether, hoping that maybe something will happen. Especially if you get that high for like 5 minutes after a meditation, and then it goes away. We're going to be using a technique called thought field therapy, also known as TFT. And I know you guys have been seeing me talk about it very briefly, but I haven't actually done this exercise with anybody publicly within the group. But we're going to be using TFT to close out the meditation so that you can integrate your intentions directly into your physical body and into your neurology. Because if you're anxious, it becomes very scary to receive money. And the universe has put a few things on hold so that your hands aren't shaking so much that you drop half of your money. That's kind of the image. If the universe is like dousing you with coins, like, you know, like an old school lottery machine, like if you don't have a bucket, the coins are going to get everywhere and you're going to have you know, I got a nice Fallout image of a bunch of Elvis zombies just kind of coming in and going like, I'm going to take that, going to take a little bit of that, take a little bit of that. You got a lot of people groping at your money. And I hate to use that word, but unfortunately, that's very literal for a lot of you guys who are part of this collective. We're just going to call it is what it is. And I kind of want to trigger you low key right now. So this is something that I need you guys to be paying attention to. I'm going to quickly take you through this exercise so that when we wrap up the meditation afterwards, you're not thrown off because you're going to be in this nice gooey state. And I want to make sure that we find the right balance where you can just integrate it without feeling startled. So this is what I want you to do. Make sure you're kind of sitting upright, have your phone off or to the side, or have your computer. You're going to be needing both of your hands for this exercise. This is called the 10 gamut integration. And I'll probably do an entire thing explaining why it's called the 10 gamut integration. But just for now, I want you guys to, you can pick your right hand or your left hand, whatever is most comfortable. I want you to find the part that's between the pinky and the ring finger and sort of that fleshy bit in the back of your hand, and taking like, you know, just a couple of fingers, and it's going to be a little bit sore. So don't, don't overdo it. But I just want you to kind of gently tap on the back of your hand right here. This is called the gamut point. It's also the back of hand point. And in thought field therapy, there are different points in the body that we can stimulate in order to help you express your emotions and help you feel neuroregulated. The whole purpose of this exercise is just to say, oh, that was awesome. I want to feel good and I want to carry this forward. So what we're going to do is going to be some eye exercises, and I'm going to get you to sing, and I'm going to get you to say some numbers. Don't panic if you are tone deaf as fuck. We're trying to stimulate the creative right side of your brain and have it connect with the logical left side of your brain. So all you need to worry about, the back of the hand, is just keep tapping it. And for every step, we're going to be tapping 7 to 10 times. You don't need to necessarily count. Oh, it sounds like someone had a freeze there. Oh, freeze response. Bring it on. All right. So let's go through the exercise and then we can get into the meditation, because I'm feeling it right now. So I hope that you've had a chance to find that spot. 2 fingers, medium pressure. So start off, close your eyes, then open your eyes. Look down to the right, straight forward. Down to the left, straight forward. Roll your eyes clockwise. Then roll them again counterclockwise. And then sing a little song. We'll just go row, row, row your boat. It just needs to be a few notes, and it can be any tune that you want. And then we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sing a song. Row, row, row your boat. And then the last one, you're going to look down. Then you're going to look straight back up as though like you're glaring at the screen, rolling your eyes, and you're going to roll your eyes back up into the back of your head. And then rest. That is called the 10 gamut integration. And don't worry if you're a little bit panicked going, I couldn't keep up with that, berries. What the fuck is going on? I'm going to be putting a link at the end of this channeling. And if you're watching this later, I'll also put this I'll put it in a pinned comment. Sign up for next week's session. And there's an option in there to tick off you're interested in emotional healing through TFT and thought therapy. And if you have selected that, I'm going to send you a little cheat sheet so that you can use this technique on your own time and you can access it whenever you need it. Because we'll be using more stuff like this as we move forward. So I'll make sure that you guys have the resources to get the cheat sheet so that you don't have to worry too much about memorization or anything like that. So, all right, guys, it's time. Reminds me of the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding method. Yeah. A lot of things as you learn more and more about different kind of healing techniques, like it's just like a soup that you keep adding to and you keep adding to it. And some of these techniques that I'm bringing to you, I've added my own berries flavor to it. Healing should evolve. So if you're being inspired by anything I'm talking about today, oh my God, nobody owns this shit. So take this and do with it whatever you want. This is about being the inner child, knowing it is so safe to play and to have fun. Beautiful. So we're going to get to the meditative portion of our session today. And again, we're going to be sitting under the power and the openness and the void of the new moon in Pisces and welcoming in the portal of the equinox. So let's start with putting your hands over your heart. Really engage with your heart center. We're going to be doing a brief exercise. We're going to be inhaling for 6, hold for 3, exhale for 6, hold for 3. And we'll do that about 3 times. Go at the pace that is comfortable for you. These numbers are just a suggestion. Beauty. Okay, start with an exhale. Inhale 6. Hold for 3. Exhale for 6. Hold. Inhale 6. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Exhale. We open the sanctuary and we intend that every soul in here is held in a blanket of unconditional love and absolute safety. We invite our angels, our highest spirit guides, and our healed ancestors to step into this space. Please sit with us, watch over us, speak to us. May we be granted a quiet mind to hear you and an open heart to receive you. And may everything channeled, cleared, and activated in this moment serve our absolute, greatest, and highest good. And so it is. Beautiful card of abundance. It says, Trust the divine timing of your abundance. Even in the winter season, your desires, they are gestating. Replace financial fear with gratitude and ease. You're being called to have a little faith. The answer to your heart's deepest question is yes. You are profoundly supported. Receive this silent, profound confirmation. You will be okay. Welcoming you in to this beautiful divine place. I will just allow the divine to speak or not speak. Even right now, as I connect with your energy, you are safe and you are loved. Even in this space, you are being gifted the feeling of joy, pure creation. It's time to cleanse. The highest guardian available to you is now activated. This pillar of divine light dissolves all negative attachments. It grounds you deep into the earth and heals your foundation. You are unshakable and you are sovereign. The old is being released. It never brought you safety in the first place. You are a clear beacon Your authentic signal is calling in your resonant soulmates. Be ready. The divine rendezvous has been set. Just allow the energy to flow through you. There's nothing for you to hold on to. Light like water washes, and we can let go of the debris, and we can let go of the old, because that is how we are made. For you were beautifully made and beautifully created. And even now your throat chakra is being cleared out. Your voice has been stagnant. It's being rejuvenated. To speak only of God's words, it is awkward and beautiful. But this is the gift of speaking well, expressing your authentic self, and finding creative ways of going about your day-to-day reality. Your God mind is much more powerful than your limited ego self. Even in this moment, your body and your mind align to your ever so powerful God-powered self, the higher self, the expanded version of you. You are being gifted a chance to open your Akashic record and read from the scrolls of your identity. Choose whatever you wish to look at. It's yours. This is a moment where you become the author of your story. And with this gift of the Akashic record, you are being gifted creativity, light, openness, a pureness of heart. I'm hearing that will last for generations. Your God mind is so much more powerful than your limited ego self. Because even now, your mind and your body are aligning to your divine presence as the divine creator. You are the alchemist. Use your focused willpower to transmute the chaos of your life into a masterpiece. Power through the creative blocks by becoming the person that turns noise into absolute genius. Just allow the emotions to flow, to feel the tears of joy, release, relief, and healing. Allow thoughts to flood your mind and be confident to release. Be the observer of your reality. Lose yourself in this space. It is the void. It is the foundation. You're being invited to build your life on. Allow yourself to be distracted, then bring yourself back and release. You're just being invited to explore the past versions of yourself, to have love, compassion, to be the cheerleader of your past self. You meet any past versions of yourself in this space, show them the compassion that you desire to feel when you are in their shoes. Now that you've known the lesson, you know the boundary. Even when the past version of yourself isn't too grateful, it may say some jarring things, you can nod and understand that those words were spoken out of pain, survival, and they were just seeking attention. So I'm going to be silent for a little bit, and your guides want you to have a beautiful conversation with a past version of you. To speak to them, but also give them the gift of being heard. This is how you collapse the timeline. Adding this beautiful rose quartz Merkaba stone. It is the representation of your core true self. Imagine yourself being this Merkaba with all points and all facets, drawing all of your energy back towards you unapologetically with surging power. I invite you to welcome this surgence. All of this is you. The part of you that was spread out too thin, who was stuck too much in the past, or too terrified of the future. Imagine yourself like a magnet, drawing power from the universe to realize that all of these years, when you allowed yourself to get siphoned, you released all that was you, and all you're being asked to do right now is reclaim all of it. This is your birthright, and it belongs to you. You deserve to have the power of creation at your fingertips because you are a divinely created being. And if you don't know how to do this, just follow the energy of the Reiki. It will guide you. Feel all of the energy go into your heart and your torso. To refill the sea of chi, your life force energy. How good does it feel to be in your own energy? How unusual. How beautiful. It can even feel a little alarming, but just allow that surge of energy to flow through you. You are safe. You are protected. And you are loved. If your body needs to release anything, just allow it to. When we yawn, if we get a frog in our throat, even little things like burping, that's just your body releasing encourage it to do so. Don't hold back out of politeness. There's no one here to impress, and there's nobody here to think that you are being rude. And even in this moment, the beautiful void of the new moon in Pisces sits upon us. Trust and know your God mind is always stronger and more powerful than your egoic self. All of the intentions, conscious and unconscious, they're being metabolized and absorbed into your body and into your mind to be safely secured in your heart. We accept all things that are good for us, all things that we want, all things that we know we are worthy of receiving. I am who I am in this now moment. And to love yourself is to love your God self, your higher being, your higher mind. When you hold on to this with great steadfastness, nobody can speak it away because it is yours. With great gentleness, I'm grounding in your energy to be returned back to you so that you can sit in your fullness. Continue to anchor you in and allow yourself to drop into your beautiful body, to feel heavy, to feel weighted by the earth, to know that the earth has you. Continue to ground and disconnecting. And it is so. Okay. We're going to integrate this in, and we talked about this a little bit earlier. We're going to do the 10 gamut integration. So all you need to do is on the back of your hand, a couple of fingers, just start gently tapping and follow my lead. Close your eyes. Open your eyes. Look down to the right. Look forward again. Look down to the left. Look forward again. Turn your eyes, roll them clockwise. Roll your eyes counterclockwise. Sing a song. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Now we count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's sing a little song. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. It's okay if you're humming out of tune. One more step. Look down. Start rolling your eyes back. Roll your head up this way. Place your hands on your heart. Breathe in optimism. Release with compassion. Let's do that again. Breathe in your optimism. Exhale with compassion. Because I love the rule of threes. Breathe in your optimism. Exhale your peace. Give yourself permission to receive more downloads in your sleep tonight. And you can speak this mantra: I release the effort and I welcome in the effortless. Wow. Always remember to drink water. Wow, guys. That was incredible, magical. Yeah. How are you guys feeling? If you got the spoons, toss me a comment, throw in an emoji. And that emoji could also just be something that you realized during your meditation. I ate half a tub of chocolate mint ice cream during that session. Oh, that's so neat. That's that I've discovered that ice cream cravings, that's actually like a mother nurturing desire. So I'm glad that you were able to nurture yourself on that feminine level. And masculine energy is very cold and calculated. So between the mint and the coolness, your body was subconsciously tuning in to that balance. That is amazing. You ran to the freezer and ate it like I was on a mission. We've all been there. I thoroughly understand that. Oh my gosh. Guys, this was absolutely incredible. And I want to thank you so much, especially for those of you who showed up last week and those of you who took the time to show up this week. I'm kind of ready to do this again next week. I'm already very excited to see what it is that we can explore, that we can clear out so that we can bring in the brand new. Now, I'm going to be putting a link in the chat. So one, if you'd like to come next week, I highly recommend signing up. Gives you a chance to vote so that I could also make sure that you are getting notifications so you don't miss any sessions. And if you have to miss it, it's okay. I can totally send you the replay. I usually send replays about 12 to 24 hours after these sessions. But there's also a section in there asking about what kind of cool things you would like to learn about. And there is a section about emotional freedom technique, EFT, and TFT. A few of you guys have already signed up for that. So if that modality interests you, especially if you'd like to have the cheat sheet for that 10 gamut integration, please make sure to sign up. This will give you access to my, sort of my little introduction, so that whenever you go to do a manifestation or you do a meditation and you really want to feel anchored in, the 10 gamut is designed to make you feel comfortable and regulated. Because today, when I finally sold my car, I got maybe $225 for it. She old. I was happy that somebody was willing to just tow that car away for me. But I had this interesting moment where I was looking at this check. It's not like a lot of money, but it is still money. And I recognized even in that moment, I was so anxious to receive that money. There was some kind of anxiety and fear. And I had to sit there and kind of go through this sequence to remind myself, I'm always worthy of receiving things that are due to me. And I want to make sure that you guys are always finding the tools and resources to help remind you that it is safe for you to receive things that are within your alignment. That can be money, love, time, energy, work, all the works. So I hope you guys got a lot out of this session. It was a little extra long, and I'm really glad we took a little extra time to sit over that new moon. I'm super excited to go back through, have a deeper look at your comments and what it is that you are sharing in this particular space. And I'm trying to think if there's any other things that I need to tell you guys about, but cast your vote for the next session. There's also a feedback box if you want to share anything with me personally or privately, especially if you didn't feel comfortable wanting to share it with the group. It gives you a chance to share things with me privately. And if you enjoyed this, please share it with a friend, especially if you got someone, they're kind of teetering on the edge and they just need space. Send them my way. I would love to be able to host them as well, and we can keep paying it forward, because a well-regulated society is happy, it is functioning, and it is abundant. Thank you so much. Happy Equinox, happy spring, happy autumn, happy new moon in Pisces to every single one of you. And until I see you guys at the next one, I'm wishing you peace, love, and all the berries.